Hey y'all. So today I thought I would share with you some of my tips and tricks for my makeup bag. We're going to use this one. This was a freebie from Benefit. It says laughter is the best cosmetic. And as you can see, it's open. A lot of lip products in there. I'm going to empty that out and refill it up with the essentials. First and foremost, I always carry a makeup remover pad, and I keep a bottle of water always in my vehicle. Actually, I keep two, one for drinking and one for using it with something like this. If your makeup's on, I live in the South, so it's 100 degrees outside. It is currently 90. So, naturally, in real life, makeup transfers. In real life, makeup sloughs off. In real life, it breaks apart. It is the way it is. Mascara will run, and I have learned the hard way. Hence, I also keep a pack of, just a little travel pack that says 10. This happens to be the Pond's brand of makeup remover facial wipes. In a pinch, you don't have your bottle of water. So I keep these two things in my little makeup bag. Or sometimes I will keep these in my glove box. So we're going to keep these out just to make room. The second, third thing I keep in my little to-go makeup bag is a sponge. This is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponge, I believe. But I keep this because, I'll take my glasses off and show you. Sometimes if you find your concealer's creasing, or you just need to smooth something out, even apply powder, I use this sponge, and with that bottle of water, I'm not going to be drinking this water, so, I may take my sponge, put it over the top, lift it, and get it a little bit damp so it can do what I need it to do. So, I'll either use this or one of those itty-bitty small ones that sometimes come in value packs. You can take foundation, if you feel like you need to touch up or whatnot. This is a teeny tiny sample. It's 0.135 fluid ounces, only 4 ml. But this stuff doesn't take much anyway. So, I typically don't keep foundation in there, but you can. It's a good idea. It fits. We've already got 2 base products in there, and you still have a lot of room. So for concealer, and I actually wore this today. This is a brand. This is a tinted plus brightening eye cream in the shade Mist from the brand TYNT Tint, I believe. This stuff, I like it. It's nice for and actually, this is what I'm wearing today. I'm not wearing any foundation, but it goes on super light, super wet, moisturizing, and there you go. You take that sponge and you can blend it out. If you need a little bit of color, even if you're not wearing any of the rest of this stuff, which is what I actually started out, and then I ended up doing it all just so I can kind of show you some of the products. But I used that primarily under my under eyes here, and I did follow that up, but I kind of let me go into some of the other stuff that I would recommend. This is a little bit bigger, but this is just kind of the one that I grabbed. Just a small bottle of refreshing spray. I think Wet n Wild has some pretty small in diameter. I think they're pretty good fluid ounces, but you could use that. You could always just, this actually happens to be the primer water. You could just kind of, during the day reset it. I used for a long time the little mini Mario Badescu. I kept one of those in my purse. I kept one beside my bed, and I kept one in my glove compartment because in the summer or at any time, if I felt like I was getting overwhelmingly hot, or even to kind of reset my makeup, refresh it, I would spray that. I would spray that if I didn't have any makeup on, period. I do love that stuff, but this is kind of just what I grabbed just because it's small. Personally, I've always used this in my bag. This is the Tarte's Pro To Go by Tarte. It does have a mirror, but it's got 3 mattes and 3 shimmer shades. This, I adore. I will repurchase this, even though I have probably a million of these same colors in my collection, even in this big palette. But this is just so versatile. I do love this. If your eyeshadow is creasing, even if you didn't initially use this palette, the shades in it are just so neutral that you can blend over anything. If you've done a pink eye, for instance, you can go in with Drive, this lighter, more neutral light shade, to kind of maybe blend it out a little bit. Or if your eye makeup has kind of started coming off in your outer crease, which happens sometimes with oily eyelids, no matter what primer you use, you could just take your little brush and dip into that and go in and touch it up a little bit, just like that. Take the other, and this was a brush I would recommend too. This happens to be a Focal Allure brush, but there are plenty double-sided. This just actually has a little small blending brush and a flat brush on the end for packing or using shimmer. So those two kind of go hand in hand. So we're going to put that in there, as well as our little brush. A little lipstick. This is actually still in the package. This is in Velvet Teddy, but I'll use one of these since I already had one of these. I forgot. I would suggest keeping a neutral color lipstick that would go with anything. This is in the shade, this is Velvet Teddy as well. You get a lot of product in these lipsticks. They're worth it. They're worth the money. I think this one, which is Velvet Teddy, also I paid $3.99 at TJ Maxx. I've never even opened it. But you've got a neutral lip color if you just need to touch up. So we're going to put that in there. This one is Russian Red. If you are a red lipstick wearer, or you go out and you don't really want to wear anything on the eyes, but you're in a pinch, you need to attend a meeting, throw on some red lipstick, and you are good to go. So, if any of your palettes don't have mirrors or any of the things you're carrying, I would suggest a little compact. This one's a little heavy, but there is one that I use different. It came free with a hairbrush. But it's the same concept. You have a magnified on one side and a regular on the other. But at any rate, you have 2 mirrors. So I'm not going to put that in there. That's just a little heavy, a little more bulky than I use. But this is just the one that I grabbed because it's so pretty. And I I always stick I have this to kind of blend just any little crease shade you may have, or straighten out the blend. And then I have this flat brush. I actually used this today. This is Wet n Wild. The little writing's gone off. This is $1. Get it. It's perfect. So worth it. For lips, I will carry a lip liner. Same thing I have on my lips now. I do not have any lipstick on, any lip gloss. I just simply took a lip liner that was more in a neutral tone to put on my lips. And this is whatever your preference is. These are just some of my ideas, some of these tricks that I use to not have to take an entire makeup bag collection with me if I go out. But at any rate, I just use a pencil. You can buy even smaller pencils. This is just the one that I grabbed because I used it today. It's under my lips. I will have a powder. This is a NYX. This is a HD finishing powder. You can use any kind of powder. I'm almost hit and pan on this, so I grabbed it. You can take one of those, and also have a couple of little mini brushes that fit perfect in your bag. This one actually hadn't been opened. These are some little small brushes, some little teeny tiny flat brushes. This is a little concealer brush if you need it, or a packing brush. Same thing with this. You could do a little lower line action if you need to. This is a little Sigma E25 blending travel brush. I'm going to use this and show you. Again, it could work for eyeshadow, but if I needed to touch up during the day, I would dip this in there, and let's say I needed to touch up around my nose, and that was it. Or I was sweaty. Just do that. Tap it out with my hand. Or, if I need to put some up here under my eyes, I would use that along with this little brush. Or I actually would use and have used many, many times this little Wet n Wild single. This is in the shade, I think, Cream Brulee. It's worn off. I think it is Cream Brulee. But this is just such a beautiful, soft, cream color, I would say. Ivory. Highly pigmented shade. If all else fails, you don't want to use a bunch of dark, deep eyeshadow. You just want a little bit on the eyes, maybe to cancel out if you have veins, or you just want a little something on the eyes if you're putting mascara, or to even, I've used this, if you don't want to carry a powder, get you a little bit of that eyeshadow, put it in there, just kind of blend it. You could brighten your under eyes with it. Just very versatile. This was 99¢. You could get you a little eyeshadow palette that can serve as a highlighter. This is a Pixie Cosmetics. This is called Mesmerizing Mineral Duo. It doesn't even specify that it is an eyeshadow. So you could use this in these two shades. I think this would work on all skin tones myself, because you've got this, get down there, this bright, beautiful champagne-y color that would be beautiful as a highlight, and then you have this bronzy color that would be beautiful as an eyeshadow, or for deeper skin tones, a beautiful highlighter. So you've got that option. You've got a highlighter, eyeshadow, and one little small container. So we'll put that in there. If you just want something, if you don't want to take anything else, but you just want to take a lid color eyeshadow, this is from the brand AOA. This is what they call it, the velour eyeshadow. This feels like ColourPop. They're cream. This is in the shade Virgin. It's a pinky purple. And the lid has been broken for quite a while. And it's just as creamy. But it comes off like that. And when you swatch it, you could also use this as a highlighter. Their highlighter formula is pretty much the same thing. You could just take it, tap it on the cheeks, and you see I've already got a little bit. We'll do this side. And I'm going to go back in. I'm going to use this brush just for this. And I'm going to kind of soften it up a little bit. Or you could use that sponge. The lid is broken on this. I really need to get it. I really need to order another one. It was $1, a whole dollar bill. So I'm going to put it in that little basket. Lipsticks. Lip glosses. Just so many different ways. You know, these are all minis. This was, I think, a L'Oreal Rouge Signature, just a teeny tiny liquid lipstick, but it's perfect to throw in your bag, or if you don't want to carry a lot of heavy things in your purse, go for a little mini. This is a mini gloss. You know, this is a mini lip crayon. You can use these on the cheeks too. I've done that before. And another little hack that I have is this is a travel mini. I think it was considered a mini. This was the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. And when I was finished with it, I saved the container. Washed it out. And so now I'll take this on more of I'm actually leaving the house and traveling for more than something that I'm going to just need just a small amount. And I'll just put some of my favorite powder in there and take my lid, put it on. I know setting powders are notorious for coming apart I hear a lot of other YouTubers say they come apart in your makeup bag. Take a piece of tape, Scotch tape, packing tape. It's not going to hurt this component. Put your powder in there. Take you some tape and tape, you know, maybe this way, or even around, so it's not going to come undone. And the tape's not going to hurt it at all. It's probably a less than a minute fix. So I use that a lot. I will sometimes take a makeup remover along with some, I didn't bring them in here with me, but I'll take a handful of Q-tips and put them in my little bag. You know, I'll take this if my mascara is transferring, clumping, or my eyeshadow has become, it's not salvageable, but I'm not home. I'll sometimes but I want to keep the rest of it on. I'll take my Q-tip. I'll take some of this just happens to be Lancome. Any mini eye makeup remover. I like using a Q-tip versus a wipe, or even my little elf disc, because with a Q-tip you can be more precise in what you're removing. Nothing's going to drip on your concealer if you're just having to redo your eye makeup. So I keep that. Lip liner. I think we already talked about mini lips, mini lipsticks. This, I use a lip liner. I don't. And again, you can find. I already did say this. You can find smaller. Just find the shade that you like that will, go with anything. And you know what? Who cares if it doesn't go with something? If you've got pink eyes and you want to wear a red lipstick, wear it. Who cares if it clashes? It's your face. It's your choice. And it's what you want. Who cares what anyone else says? In a world full of normal, be abnormal. That's my philosophy. Another alternatives for those things would be carrying single inexpensive blushes. This is Essence the blush in the shade Befitting. This is one of my my favorite, absolutely favorite blushes. This was a no-brainer to grab first. Or you could use something like this. This is a Cover FX. This is kind of an all-in-one. You could use these as eyeshadows as well. It comes with a highlighter, which is, let's do it this way. You have a highlighter, you have a blush, you have a finishing powder, a brightener, a contour, and another highlighter. You can mix all of these and make it custom. I personally love to take this contour shade, dip into that, and then I'll come in and dip into a little bit of that brightener just to give me a little bit of glow, because this contour shade in this palette, while it is beautiful and I have worn it on its own, I do sometimes will tap in a little bit of that brightener, and it just gives it a little bit of a glow. So I use this in and out of my purse. Another great eyeshadow that I cannot recommend enough, and that is the Essence My Rose Will Go On, or these little 6 shade. They come in a couple of them. I have a couple of them. I have the warmer tone ones, and this one is my absolute favorite. My Rose Will Go On. I will use this formula over Natasha Denona any day. I will put these to the test, and I may one day do this on one eye, Natasha on the other, and do a wear test. These stay on my eyes. They are so creamy, so creamy. I can't remember if I've swatched this already, but I will swatch again. There are 2 shimmer shades and the rest are matte, but they are buttery, 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 buttery. And they just enhance everything. This again, I can't say enough about this. I really love this. And, I'm sure in a pinch, you could use this as a blush. You could set your eyes with this, because these are both mattes. Either of those for blushes. If you needed to brighten the inner corner, or you wanted to put it on your lid, you could. A lot of different uses for this baby. Paint pots, another eye option. Don't sleep on these. These are not the painterly or soft ochre, but these are stunning, absolutely stunning. I've had these for years and years and years. But if you are going out or even in your everyday and you want something that's going to stay, but you don't want to pack a whole lot of things, you want to go out and carry just a small little crossbody. These paint pots, let's see if I can get them to show up. I'm sitting beside natural light. Let's see, maybe they show up there a little bit. They are absolutely beautiful, and they stay on your eyes. I adore my paint pots. I actually wore earlier today. I went to the grocery store and I wore a paint pot in the shade Bougie, my favorite shade in the paint pots is Bougie, other than Painterly, for that reason. These are some, other little ideas. You've got these little L'Oreal Infallible, the 24 hours that you can, throw in your bag. Take, this one happens to be a matte one. Put that on your eye. And it's going to stay. Look at that. This is in the shade Endless Pearl. Beautiful shade. Love this. These I didn't have to go searching through my collection for, because these are typically what I will throw in my bag. Not all of these, but, sometimes I pick and choose. These, I've talked about these before, the Wet n Wild Mega Glow makeup sticks. This one is the blush. This is in the shade Peach Bum. This, perfect for your cheeks. You could put a little bit, tap it. You don't even have to use a brush. Or put a little bit on your lips if you just need just a little something. So those are perfect for that. I always carry a brow brush with soap already on it. Probably not the most hygienic, and if I'm somewhere and my brows are just in definite need of a little something, I'll take my spoolie, go right through it. Which brings us to the next thing. You can get these little e.l.f. palettes. This is Summer Breeze. I don't know why I was thinking mad for matte. These shades, you've got warms, cools, neutrals, so many things you can do with these. You can eyeline, brows, they're all matte. So you could do all of those things. If you're, again, your brows, you need to do your brows. Take that spoolie. You can either dip it in maybe what shade or mix them together, or, whatever you need to do, and put that right through your brows, or use it on your eyes. It's perfect for both. Small, compact. Just a few more items. Mascara. Enough said. If you need it. ColourPop shadows. If you have favorites that go with everything that you love, carry one. You don't have to carry any brushes. ColourPop goes on fantastic with no brush. I actually use my finger for my all of my ColourPop. This came out of my favorites. this, I wish it would pick up just how beautiful this shade is. This is in the shade Ripple, and it is a Super Shock Ultra Glitter. It's purple, but it has a pink reflect, pink and blue. Let's see if it will show it better in the pot. A little bit. I've used quite a bit of it. I have my backup already. Pulled it out because I'm going to need it. Same thing. This is another one of those. It beats high end. This is the Essence Melted Chrome. This is in the shade 01 Zinc About You. These I wear all the time. I love this. As a lid, it feels amazing. It's creamy. It is highly pigmented. That's what she looks like. We're gonna swatch her right beside this one. I take that, put that on with my finger. Again, this is one of those, you dip in, you swirl, you can do one eye, you can do the other. This will remain a staple as long as I can find them. I cannot find them anymore on Ulta's website. I don't think I could find them on Essence, but I did once. They used to be like $3.99, and then Ulta had marked them down, and I bought an extra one of all that I could because they're that good. I love these, and they stay on. I don't have a problem with these for the most part coming off in those corners that it typically comes off on. So that's a great little thing. These little J-Cat Glitter Dazzle, these are eye toppers. This is Purple Rain. That's what the package looks like. I just got these in, and this is a purple and gold glitter. I typically don't use a lot of glitter, but that's what that looks like, and that is swatched. Can you see that? I'll put a little bit on my eyes this time. I'm just going to use my, let's see if I can actually, let's use one of these travel brushes that I was talking about. So I'm going to take this. This is an Eco Tools. It's called a Petite Eye Shading. And, oh, wow, yeah. I didn't bring any setting spray in here with me while I'm filming. Oh, yes, I did. I used I bought the primer water. Let's try it without first. Okay, so let's try this eye. Make sure I got it on the right side. I'm just gonna put a little bit in the center. Can't tell. I can tell it sparkles a little bit now. I'm just kind of going in it. The purple and gold colors are kind of swirled through. And I'll wet it with a little bit of that primer water. And I feel it falling. Once I sprayed my brush, I felt it falling out a tad bit. So there's that. And that is what I use in my to-go bag. Obviously, multiples of different variations, but you know, let's take out let's even take out probably the easiest thing to substitute all of that, which is the full face palette. So let's take that out. Let's take, we'll even leave the big. So we'll take out that single Wet n Wild Cream Brulee. White powder can be used on the lids, brightening up the under eye. We'll even take that out. We'll leave in we've got the lip liner in there. We've got the foundation, 2 lipsticks, one mini lipstick, and then the lip crayon. Excuse me, 2 mini lipsticks, a lipstick crayon, and a pencil liner, a flat shader, blending brush, that dual-ended brush, a full-size blush, a full-size powder, a sponge, a mini mascara, that little palette, the Tarte's To Go palette, the foundation, there's lip gloss, the other little liquid lipstick, blending brush, and the tinted eye serum. So let's put that in there. And you know what? For good measure, we're going to put in the sponge, or the makeup remover pad from e.l.f. Zip it up. I'm not having to struggle to get it closed. There we go. It's yay big, like this. It's not heavy at all. And I can throw this in my bag. One other thing I forgot. And that is a tube of chapstick or lip balm. I still have this. I went to the beach recently with my mom, and we didn't take any makeup because we were there to completely relax. And I didn't even take any lipstick, any lip gloss, nothing. But I did end up needing some chapstick. Everything's so expensive at the beach. For whatever reason, we went into a Dollar Tree and I was able to find some chapstick, Total Hydration. This is in the shade Coral Blush. This is a moisture and tint. So I really do like that. This does give you a tint. Let's see. So this is another option for lip care and color, dual purpose. That's all I have for you guys today. I will give you a rundown of what I'm wearing. I did not wear foundation. I used that PYT eye concealer and serum. I used that underneath my eyes a little bit. It doesn't give a lot of coverage, but it is very glowy. And I followed that up with the Jouer Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer. This is in the shade Toast. This is a little too dark for me most of the time, but today it worked out. I was trying to disguise my hereditary eye bags that no amount of powder, highlighter, or powder, concealer, anything is going to get rid of it. It's just there. So I kind of used this underneath this a little bit, kind of just small. I mean, I took the doe foot, you know, I pulled the applicator out, and whatever was on the applicator is just kind of where I put it at. So I used that. And for my blush, I used an Elnegs, if you're watching this, and I hope you are, I did this just for you. This is the Undone Beauty. This one looks terrible, but oh, I love this blush. This is the Lip to Cheek palette. This is in the shade 310 Rosy. This looks absolutely intimidating. I ordered this online from Ulta, I believe, and when it came in, I was thinking, this isn't going to work for me. This is going to be too deep. Not at all. I use my e.l.f. stippling brush. There's actually still a little bit up there. And I just take it and tap it on, and that's kind of what it looks like. And then I just blend it out, you know, and I will take my foundation brush, or in this case, I used it as concealer, and I went back in and I tapped and I softened it up. That Undone, I put a little bit on my nose, a little bit up there. For my bronzer, I used a little bit of this LA Girl Velvet Bronzer Contour Stick. And this stuff, I had had this for a while, and the first time I tried it, I really didn't, I didn't get along great with it, but I was applying it straight, you know, to my face, and I said, let's try something different. So I took a contour bronzer brush. This is from Real Techniques. This was made, or this is a 028. It hugs. I've used this for cream blush as well. That it hugs your cheek and your cheekbone. So I used this. I just took it and, you know, you can put it on your hand and dip in that way, or you can kind of just take your brush and dip it on the top, and then see, I mean, you can see it's pretty pigmented even with this crappy lighting situation. But yeah, I'm glad I gave this a second chance, because I truly do enjoy that. Use the stipple brush for that. Then I went in with the LYS. Ooh, this is good. The LYS No Limits Matte Bronzer. This is in the shade Motivate or Light. And that's what she looks like. It looks in the pan, to me, cool tone, which I don't wear cool tones. But once it's on, and it kind of even swatches a little cool tone. But once it's on my cheeks, it really, really was beautiful. So I use this to kind of set anything. I use its cream, and I have used it on its own. For blush, I used that. For my eyes, I used my beloved Milani Most Loved Mattes palette. This palette, it's a beautiful mirror. It reminds me a lot of the Tarte palettes. These are all mattes, a little bit neutral, a little bit warm, a little bit cool. I used these shades right here. They do have names, but I can't be bothered to find them. I used this one, that one, and a little bit of that. And then I followed that up with, I did initially a deep lid, but I felt it was just a little too dark for me. So I went in with this LC Cosmetics liquid eyeshadow. I don't know what the shade is. It came from a BoxyCharm box, and I just took this applicator, which I really do enjoy. And I put a little bit, that's what it looks like. And the doe foot, let me see if I can get it all off. The doe foot is plastic, so it's not going to hold on to a bunch of product that you're dipping right back into the bottle if you have to dip in for more. I don't know what this lighting is doing. I got to get that straight. But I took a little bit of this and I put a little bit on each lid. And then I took this random Sigma domed precision taper P86, and I took it and feathered it out a little bit. Nothing major. I think it took me 2 minutes. I put one of those shades just a little bit on my lower lash line, which typically I don't do, especially on days that my eyes are watering really bad, and today they've been watering really bad. So, and I set my face with, or gave it the glow that I wanted. I kind of used 2 glowy products. This is, they don't make it anymore, but they do make, in some of their collections, the beauty powder. This actually just happened to be labeled as a mineralized skin finish. This is the collab with MAC and Kelly Osbourne. Way expired, but it's a powder. It still works. It's not broken me out. And this is in the shade Jolly Good. It's a shimmery. You got 2. You have a lighter and a little bit deeper. They look a little deeper in the pan, but I mixed them together and swatched them, and it gives a subtle glow. I took that on my Marc Jacobs, the Face One brush, and I just swirled around in it, and I did it just like I would my Hourglass Ambient Light. I just kind of put it on the cheeks because I did not want a very powdery look at all. I like the glowy look. So, but I applied a little bit of that, and then where I didn't use that, which were more along the lines in here and kind of my lower jawline, I went in with my e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder in the shade Light. Just the same. I used the same. Actually, I used this brush, my stippling brush. This is a Sephora Pro Stippling Diffuser Powder 44. Really enjoy this brush. I just put a little bit of my, I dipped a little bit of the setting powder in the cap, swirled it around, and I just kind of tap it. Just kind of tap it a little bit like that. Go over where I put that little highlight at and set it. And my face, this is it. Let me see if I can, there we go. Get out of that light a little bit. These are the eyes. Did not put mascara on. I had some on earlier today and it was irritating, which is why I ended up redoing my makeup before I filmed this. And my brows are from this morning. So I just used a little bit of ColourPop and ColourPop brow pencil and a little bit of I didn't bring it in here with me, but it's the Wet n Wild Brow Excessive, I believe is what it's called. It's in a white, small little tube. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe you learned a few little tips and tricks. You know, they're nothing fancy. And the main tip that I can share with you that has benefited me the most is taking one of those makeup, or makeup erasers, makeup pads, whatever you want to call them, or even a small pack of makeup remover wipes. You can pick these up for $1. I like to use these because sometimes after you open these, they will dry up. So, you know, I like to take my bottle of water that I keep specifically for things like this. And again, if I'm in a pinch and my eyes are irritating, or I'm done with the makeup, I'm done, I got to get it off, but I'm not home, I still got somewhere else to go, I will wet this, and you could do it driving down the road. You know, you just get it off, use one side to get it all off, wet the other side, go back over it for your second cleanse, and there you go. You got a fresh face. Thanks all. Have a good day.